What is happening, people, and welcome to Never Say Conjugate. I know so many of you out there have been waiting an extremely long time for this program, so I am super pumped to announce that it is now available, all put together for you for your convenience at my website, neversay.com, only for $25. That is the #1 way to support the site. So if you guys do like the videos and you get something out of it and you want to support me, support the channel, then just go over and pick up one of any of the like 20 now programs that I have available over there. For everyone else who is not interested in buying the program, we're gonna talk about how to set it up right now. For everyone who is buying the program, we're gonna talk about how to get through it. Fogging up a little bit here. All right, so the very first things that you're gonna need to know is that Never Say Conjugate is a 12-week-long program where you're gonna be working out 4 times a week. Now, each one of those sessions is gonna take approximately 60 minutes long. Your maximum effort sessions are gonna take a little bit longer, and your dynamic effort sessions are gonna take a little bit shorter, but on average, you're probably looking right around 60 minutes each day that you're in the gym. All right, so each one of those weeks is gonna be broken up into 2 different parts. The first half of your week is gonna be maximum effort, or your ME days. You're gonna have a lower body day and an upper body maximum effort day. On your maximum effort days, you are gonna be focused on variations of the competition lifts. So instead of doing a regular squat, you might be doing a front squat, or a Zercher squat, or a pulse squat. You're gonna be doing a variation that is focused on the weak point of the competition lift that you're working on, all right? Now, for weeks 1 through 6, you are going to be going for 3 rep maximums of these variations. For weeks 7 through 12, you are going to be doing 1 rep maximums for those variations. And the most important thing about maximum effort day is that you are going with maximum effort. So when you are going for a 3 rep max, you should not be able to get rep 4. It should be an all-out fight to get this. I don't want you missing attempts, I don't want you missing reps, but I want you to get every single ounce out of these variations that you possibly can, so you build up those weak points of the main competition lift. If it says get 1 rep max, you're getting a 1 rep max. Not a 2 rep max, not a 3 rep max, a 1 rep max. If it tells you to get 3 rep max, you should not be able to do any more than 3. Maximum effort. Now, once you have found your top set on your maximum effort day, it's gonna be time for your volume work, because you can't just max out, you need to get a little bit of volume as well. On your 3 rep max days, so that's gonna be in weeks 1 through 6, when you're going for a 3 rep max, after you've gotten that top set, you're gonna go 8 reps for 3 sets of that at 80% of whatever you got for your top set. Now, on your 1 rep max days, you're just gonna drop that down to 5 reps for 3 sets at 80% of your top reps. One of the beautiful things about this program is how straightforward and easy to follow it is. So all you need to do is max out, get your 3 rep max, get 80% of it, do 8 reps for 3 sets, or if you're doing weeks 7 through 12, where you're going for 1 rep maxes of the variations of the main lifts, then you'll be getting 5 reps for 3 sets at 80% of your top set. It's just very, very simple. The second half of each week, your last 2 days, are gonna be dynamic effort days, where all of your focus is going to be on speed and form of your competition lift. So here you are doing the traditional deadlift, the traditional squat, the traditional bench press, and overhead press. All right, if you can utilize bands or chains and a way to set them up, then I think that is absolutely ideal, and it will yield much better results over the course of the program than if you did not have them. That said, it is not necessary. You can still run this dynamic effort work without bands or chains. Now, a quick point about bands or chains. People want to know how much of the resistance on the bar should be band resistance and how much should be actual straight plate weight. And it's really up to lifter preference, all right? Everyone kind of sets up differently. Some people like a little bit more band tension. Some people like a little bit more straight weight, but you're gonna need to figure out what is best for you and your setup. But as long as you have a combination of whatever the percentage is. Now, when the program begins, your dynamic effort days are gonna begin at 50%, which seems really late, but remember, your entire focus is on speed and your form. This is a rule to follow in dynamic effort days. Never sacrifice your form for speed, and never sacrifice speed for weight. So if your form starts suffering, then you need to pull back on the accelerator a little bit to tighten up that form. If the bar starts slowing down, then you need to back off the weight a little bit to get the bar speed back up. This doesn't seem like it would work when you're using weights as light as 50%, but trust me, nothing has worked better for me in my entire life to build just raw strength as well as all my athletes than Conjugate. It's like magic. It works like crazy. So you're gonna start at 50% of your 1 rep maximum, and then you're gonna add 5% each week for your first 6 weeks. That's gonna take you up to 75%. Now, the reason why in week 7 we reset back to 50% is to start rebuilding back for testing. But the reality is in week 7, if you kept going up, once you get above like 70, 75%, then something is gonna start degrading. Either your form is gonna start going down, you're not doing speed work with 80% of your 1 rep maximum. The bar is either gonna be moving too slow or your form is not gonna be right, so we reset it and start building back up, and it will be back up right in time before you go to test all of your traditional competition lifts. I think the biggest thing to stress here is that you don't want to turn a dynamic effort day into another maximum effort day, not only for the recovery and the programming, but each day has its focus. When you're supposed to be going maximum effort, that is what all of your focus is supposed to be on, is moving as much weight as possible. When you're in your dynamic effort, it's about moving it as well as you possibly can with the most perfect form and as fast as your body will allow. Now, either way, whether it is a maximum effort day or a dynamic effort day, you're going to have some assistance work. Now, that assistance work is going to be focused on the main move of the day. So if it is a deadlift day, your assistance work is going to be more focused towards the deadlift. If it's a squat day, it'll be more focused towards squat, so on and so forth. Each one of these sessions is only going to be 10 to 12 minutes long. So let's say you're on your maximum effort day. You're going to take about 30 minutes to work up to your max or 3 rep max, whatever. You have your volume work, which shouldn't take you more than 5-10 minutes. Then another 10 minutes of assistance work. So in reality, you're out the door in like 50, 60 minutes. That's why I say each workout really isn't that long, and your maximum effort days are going to be a good bit longer than your dynamic effort days. So another important thing here to note is that assistance is that. It's assistance. And if it doesn't assist you, then you shouldn't be doing it. And I'll be honest with you, Conjugate asks a lot of your body and it will beat you up. So if you're feeling like the maximum effort work or your dynamic effort work, just the main strength work of the day is enough, then cut it there. I wouldn't do it all the time. Occasionally, if you don't feel like this is going to help your body, it's just going to keep digging you further and further, then I would highly advise just skipping it. But again, don't make it a habit. If you find that you get through this, because the volume on Conjugate is relatively low, like the total volume, it seems like you're not lifting a whole lot of weights and you're certainly not hitting each body part multiple times and things like that. So if that seems low to you, I don't want you to add extra things in, because trust me, that's not going to work. You need the recovery. This is super, super brutal on your central nervous system. Instead, I've added optional bodyweight conditionings every single day to the workout. So if you find that you're at the end and you're like, you know what, I got a little bit more, well, then you do some bodyweight conditioning. It's not gonna ask too much of your soul, so that you can come back into your maximum effort days or your dynamic effort days fresh, focused, and ready to give absolutely everything that you can to the actual purpose of the program. Don't do too much. One of the biggest mistakes I see people do is they're doing too much. Everyone thinks if I work harder and do more, then I'll get better results. And that is right to a point. And then there are some diminishing returns, and it doesn't work like that anymore. And you're standing in a hole with a shovel and you just keep digging, trying to get out of it. It's not gonna work. All right, so at this time, I'm gonna take over the computer screen and show you guys a sample maximum effort day and a sample dynamic effort day, and just talk through it so you guys can get an idea of how I'm actually setting this up. All right, so here we are on wave 1, week 1, day 2, which is your maximum effort upper day. And your variation is gonna be the floor press or the pin bench press. You can choose either one that you want. We have 30 minutes to work up to a 3 rep maximum, and in between attempts, you're gonna be doing 8 Pendlay rows, strict and as heavy as possible, and a 50-foot single arm farmer's walk each side. Or if you don't have the room to do the farmer's walk, then you can do 30 seconds of marching in place, but the weight should be as close to body weight as possible. So again, you are doing a giant set here. The main focus is going to be either the floor press or the pin bench press. But once you have found your 3 rep maximum, then it is time for the volume set. So you're gonna get as many as possible in your first set, which is you're shooting for around 8, like I mentioned earlier, 8 at 80% of your 3 rep maximum. Then you're gonna do a 50-foot single arm farmer's walk each side. Set 2 is 8 floor or pin presses at 8% of 3 rep maximum. Hit your farmer's walk, do another set of 8 for set 3, and then you're up to your assistance work. Where you have 4 rounds of the following giant set, you're gonna do 15 neutral grip dumbbell bench presses as heavy as possible into 15 dips or bench dips if necessary, and then 15 cable or band tricep extensions, again, as heavy as possible. You're only gonna do that for 4 rounds, and that is the end of your day. It should not take you more than like 60 seconds. 60 minutes. If you find that you still want something more, then you have the optional conditioning there at the bottom, and those are always going to be body weight, so they're not going to take that much from you. All right, let's move on to wave 1, week 1, day 3, which is your very first dynamic effort lower day. Here you're going to be doing 2 sets of every minute on the minute kind of blocks. Your first one is every minute on the minute for 12 minutes. You're going to do 2 to 3 deadlifts at 50% of your 1 rep maximum. Now, that 50% is band or chain plus the actual weight on the bar combined. It's up to you whether you want to use more band weight or you want to use more straight plate weight on the bar, but whatever that is combined. Now, do remember that you do not need bands or chains to run this program, but if you do have access to them and a way to set them up, then it would greatly behoove how much you are actually going to progress throughout this program if you use them. But once you're done that first 12 minutes, then you move on to the next 12 minutes where you're going to be doing 2 to 3 squats at 50% of your 1 rep maximum, and you get the remainder of the minute to rest. Once you're done, you move on to your assistance work, which for this is 4 rounds of the flying giant set, 5 Bulgarian split squats, each side as heavy as possible, 5 front squats. You're just using the same bar, right? So you don't need 2 bars set up. You just need 1. You do your split squats. As soon as you're done that, you just get under the bar for your front squats. You got 5 of those, and then you have 15 cable or banded standing crunches. 90 seconds rest, get back up top. You got 4 rounds of that. Now, if you don't think that's enough, again, I gave you an optional conditioning session. It's all body weight, so it shouldn't hurt you that badly. But if you did want more work, it is there for you. All right, so there you guys go. There is Never Say Conjugate in a nutshell. If you guys did want to set it up on your own, or if you guys do want to pick it up on my site, you can go to neverstate.com/merch. It is just $25. It is all set up for you. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, and you're absolutely gonna love it. This is by far the #1 strength program that I produce. It has done more for myself, for my athletes, in a shorter amount of time for just all-out raw strength than any other program that I do. You don't do quite as much jumping around and really like the dangerous stuff, but it is a little bit more static, but that's because its whole focus is just building big, brutal, powerful stuff. So if you are a powerlifter, this is a great program for you. If you're a strongman, this is a terrific program for you. So if you're an everyday weekend warrior and you just like to go to the gym and you want to be the best that you can be as far as strength goes, run something like this. And then after this, guys, I would highly recommend running something more along the lines of like my RPM program that is kind of a bridge, kind of lighter by nature, because this is so heavy and brutal that it will beat you up. So a natural progression step after this would be the RPM, and then get back into something like the Power Builder, the 4 Horsemen, the Dark Horse, or whatever the case would be. So I just thank you guys absolutely for everything. This is, again, the #1 way that the channel is supported. So if you guys do want to support me, want to support the channel, you like the videos, you want them to keep going, then please, the $25 programs are the #1 way to go. So I thank you so much for absolutely everything, for your time and attention. I hope this was useful. I hope some of you will set it up for yourself. I will catch up with you later in the week. I was so close. I will catch up with you later in the week. Until I do, go out something amazing in your lives. Keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. I'll see you then.